Hello, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our bets and your bets, going to be another profitable day for you. Monday, November 10th, basketball slate, NBA and college basketball. I do want to say I am sorry that I missed the weekend. Under the weather, feeling much better though tonight. I was recording this episode for Monday, so I do apologize to all the fans out there. I'd much rather would have been doing shows instead of feeling the way I was feeling, but it was a bad few days to say the least, but we're feeling much better. So appreciate all the people with the well wishes out there as well. Those did get received. If I didn't respond, it wasn't because I didn't want to. Just feeling absolutely god awful. So thank you to all of you out there. If you're new to our show or just returning, all of our shows brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. 7-day free trial available in the comments section and also on our YouTube channel page. If you want to get great bet ideas, if you want to get stuff that's been hitting at 60, 70, 80, 90% or 100%, let's say over the last 5 to 10 games, all of that is available on Outlier. Plus, you can find out where the money's coming in on the books. Also, get in Odd Shop, all the books you're currently a member of, all in one spot with Outlier. Never have to leave the app, to be really honest. So once you get in there, try it out. It's 7 days for free. If you don't like it, feel free to cancel. No big shake. They think you'll like it so much you use it. We use it. There's some great bet trends, great bets in there, things of that nature. Just ways to look at it something a little bit differently than maybe what you currently do. Can also spark something there as well. Because we all kind of get in the mode, especially basketball bets, points, rebounds, assists. There's a lot of really good stuff with combos when it comes to either points, assists, rebounds, assists, things of that nature. So make sure you check that out. Private Discord channel is available as well. For all of you out there, we do have a weekly and a monthly option for that, where you get all of our bets early, you get unit sizes, you get bonus material. They even got, we had posted the NFL and college and some additional sport stuff before we got sick there. So they got all of those. Didn't miss out on a couple of days of basketball, but had plenty of bets to keep them busy and occupied. You can get that by just joining that Discord channel. You'll find it in the comment section as well as the YouTube channel page. And to YouTube TV, stop this madness, please. Come on. Figure out the deal with ESPN and Disney and all this shit. This is absolutely ridiculous. Are you freaking kidding me? So I know YouTube TV has sponsored in the past. We have cut ties with YouTube TV because they're stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. We want to watch sports. At least I do. That's what YouTube TV is for. We're done. They can keep their ticket. They can keep their free crap for us. I'm out. If you can't sit there and give me ESPN, I'll find alternate ways to do it. There's plenty of other streaming options in order to get ESPN and all the college football games. But this has been, 3 weeks of college football that's been interrupted. College basketball is at full force right now. Can't be down with ESPN, YouTube TV, and offering me $20 credit is a freaking joke. You've built your thing on quad boxes and everything else, but I'm going to stay off of this. But right now, go find an alternate solution if you're a YouTube TV customer, because it's absolutely freaking ridiculous. I know they're going to be in the next 10 years, they're projected to be the biggest one out there. It's complete bullshit about how they're stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. Once again, it doesn't seem like Disney has a problem getting contracts done with the rest of the major cable providers and streamers. Why can't they? Anyway, let's get on to it. Let's get started with the NBA because we got a lot of shit to go through. After I got off my soapbox of YouTube TV, I just cannot stand what they do to the public here. Hornets and the Lakers. This game in Charlotte starting 7 o'clock Eastern time, as we've got 3 of them starting at that time to get us through the shoot. Lakers favored by 7.5 on the road. Hornets looks like no LaMelo again. Miles Bridges game time decision, which is not sounding real promising in that particular game. We do like the Lakers on the road here. Let's give you all the plays in this one. Lakers minus 1.5 first quarter, 3.5 first half, and 7.5 for the game. We are just going to play the total, not quarter and half here as well, over 229.5. Luka for over 3.5 turnovers. Zion James over 7.5 points. Colin Sexton under 19.5 points. Sexton under 6.5 field goals. Luka under 16.5 rebounds and assists combined. DeAndre Ayton over 16.5 points and assists. We'll go back to 8. We kind of put him on ice there for a little bit. We'll go back here and we'll see if he can finally cash in this stupid thing here. Kalkbrenner over 2.5 steals and blocks. So a lot of props in that, in that game. Pretty good sizable one there. Plus, sides the Lakers, we think getting a 10-point plus win out of there in Charlotte. Next game up, still at that 7 o'clock time frame. Pistons and Wizards. All right. The Wizards are, 1-9? And they made some moves. It didn't seem to help. I will say this, though. Sarr's been really good. I think it's been pretty solid. Keontae George, it looks like they might have a couple of pieces. This was a 10-year rebuild with the crap they've been dealing with. But, at least it looks like they might be showing a couple of pieces that could do some good for them. This one here. Pistons, though, they're top half, top 4 or 5 in the East. And they're at home where they normally play pretty well. This line's already moved. We got this thing at 11.5. It's already at 12.5. A lot of books. Let's give you all the bets here in this Pistons game. Pistons continue to roll, we think, going against inferior competition, and they cover this 11.5, minus 3.5 in the first quarter and 6.5 in the first half. Keyshawn George, 2+ threes. Keyshawn George over 2.5 turnovers. Sarr, who we mentioned, over 7.5 rebounds. Cade Cunningham over 31.5 points and rebounds combined. Cade Cunningham over 26.5 points. Keyshawn George over 2.5 points first quarter. Middleton under 2.5 assists. I can't believe I have to play that guy under 2.5 assists. How much is that guy falling? And Cade Cunningham over 42.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined. Next game up. Trailblazers and the Magic, 235 total and a half. Sorry, Trailblazers getting 2.5 on the road. Trailblazers getting a lot of respect here. Only getting 2.5 on the road. I was kind of surprised. I thought we were going to see closer to 5 in this one here, but I think the actual area to attack here is going to be this under. I know there's been a boatload of over games. Trust me, I like the overs as well. Blazers necessarily don't score as much on the road. Magic depends on how many threes they're going to hit, and you can never really rely on them in a three-point shooting contest. So we're going to roll with the under here. Magic Blazers under 60.5 first quarter, 121.5 first half, 235.5 for the game. Donovan Clingan under 8.5 rebounds. Drew Holiday under 7.5 assists. Jeremiah Grant, over 20.5 points and rebounds combined. And then Aveda, his numbers I just think are a little high. And that's why we're going to play some unders here. Under 37.5 par, points, assists, rebounds. Under 13.5 rebounds and assists. Under 7.5 rebounds. And Holiday under 2.5 threes. Nothing really to play for on the Magic side because I can't really tell you. They're just the inconsistency of the Magic is just frustrating, right? But we know who the guys are on the Blazers who are typically going to score. It's just Vita's numbers, Denny's numbers are getting just a shade smidge high. I mean, I think the guys has been really solid for them for a season plus. But I mean, those numbers are starting to creep into major all-star type numbers. Getting that par bet and, those type of things there. So just playing the unders there as well as an under game there between the Magic and the Blazers. Next game up, we'll move to the 7:30 time slot. There's only one there as DraftKings helps us out as we're rolling through on they always got a refresh in the middle of at least 4 times a show anymore, it seems like. Cavs going down to Miami, Heat getting 7.5. Now, I understand the Heat have actually been, okay, how do I put this? For the last 4 to 5 seasons at least, they've been one of the most frustrating teams to watch because they don't score no points. They play defense. It's not fun to watch. It's not appeasing to the eye, right? Then all of a sudden this year, now all of a sudden they're lighting up things. I don't know if because Jimmy's Butler's gone or no Tyler Hero yet or what it is. But Jaquez has played fantastic. Davion Mitchell seems to be running up and down the floor. Norman Powell's been a really nice piece there. Bam Adebayo sounds like he's out. But the Heat are getting 7.5 at home, and the Heat is always a tough place to play for everybody, as everybody talks getting about, when they go down to South Beach, it's not being an easy place to play. So we're going to take those 7.5 points and put them in our pocket here, and hopefully the Heat keep this thing close and got a chance at winning. So Heat plus 2.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, 7.5 for the game. Sam Merrill, 3+ field goals made. Norman Powell, who we just mentioned, 22+ points, 25+ points and assists combined. Pete Larson for the Heat, though, under 3.5 assists. I'm shocked that we could still get this at this kind of juice. I thought for sure it was going to be 2.5, but we'll definitely take the 3.5 and say thank you on that one as well. And then we've got Sam Merrill over 8.5 points. Mobley for 2+ threes. Lonzo Ball over 7.5 rebounds and assists combined. Wiggins under 4.5 rebounds. A little lighter there on Wiggins. Normally we're looking for that 5.5 rebound from him. He's been hitting that 4 mark pretty consistently. And Norman Powell over 26.5 par points, assists, rebounds combined. Darius Garland, he's welcome back, by the way, under 2.5 rebounds. And Khalil Ware under 9.5 rebounds. And Donovan Mitchell's been hitting threes like mad crazy. So 4+ threes there for Donovan Mitchell. Next game up, Bucks and the Mavs, 8:30 Eastern time. So Bucks, it's pretty interesting what they've done so far. I've been pleasantly surprised on what they've been able to do. The Mavs, on the other hand, completely disappointing. Now, AD's game time decision, maybe he's back. Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg's going to be a fantastic NBA player, I think. I don't know if he's going to be face of the franchise or anything. Maybe he is for the Mavs, but he's not Luka, right? He's not a guy I don't think that's going to score 35 a game, but he's a guy that can get a lot of points, rebounds, and assists and play better defense than Luka could. So even if he scores 25 a game, but it plays a lot better defense, his plus minus probably be a lot better than Luka was anyway. That might lead to more wins. The problem with good defensive teams, early in the season, they're probably going to struggle. And I think that's what the Mavs have really done, right? So I'm not shocked at what they've done so far. They haven't shot really well. D'Angelo Russell, I said, was going to be a problem before the season started when we did our season intros. They don't really have much defense there in the backcourt. But anyway, I guess getting back to that, we do like the Bucks in this particular spot just because I think they're going to be able to score on them. If there's no AD to slow down Giannis a little bit, I think that's even more of an advantage because Gafford's not really the rebounder or defensive presence that's really going to slow Giannis getting down to the cup. So let's give you all the Bucks plays here. Bucks money line first quarter, first half, and game. Cooper Flagg over 22.5 points and rebounds combined. Cooper Flagg over 1.5 turnovers. PJ Washington over 1.5 turnovers. Giannis 30+ points. Let's see here. And then we go to PJ Washington over 7.5 rebounds. Rollins for the Bucks under 14.5 points. Cole Anthony under 3.5 field goals. Gary Trent under 3.5 field goals. Giannis over 11.5 rebounds. And Bobby Portis over 5.5 rebounds. My apologies on that. That was Bobby Portis over 5.5 rebounds. Not under. We do like his over. Next game up, we'll get to Spurs and the Bulls. Bulls at home have been really good. They're getting 3.5. Josh Giddey, I don't know if he's going to play or not. It doesn't sound like it. Spurs on the road have been a little when they went out west, it didn't go really well, right? Let's just be honest there. De'Aaron Fox is back. I honestly think that kind of hurts Castle a little bit more. I really like what we've seen out of Castle. Has he not been absolutely fantastic? Harper is hurt and out for this game, so it does hurt a little bit on the bench side, but man, has Stephen Castle been a lot of fun to watch. But you spent the money on De'Aaron Fox. You're not going to bench him or make him come off the bench, right? So I trust me, I understand. But I just feel like, that they're missing a little bit. They got ahead of the curve a little bit. They tried to rebuild a little bit faster by making a move. I thought maybe a better move would have been to get maybe an additional wing, somebody a little bit better than maybe Harrison Barnes, and not go after another guard, but such is life, right? So Wemby, who looked like an all-star, he's an all-star, right? But he looked like an MVP candidate for 4 or 5 games, and then he's kind of settled back down a little bit. He's still a little inconsistent, but you're 8 foot tall. Go stand next to the frickin' bucket and get easy ones. And not only that, I get frustrated with these guys that are this big and can't rebound. And I'm a huge Wemby fan, but how do you not get 10 rebounds just by showing up? And then the rotations I still think are a little weird for San Antonio. I thought that with Wemby. I was like, they play 5 minutes, and then 5 minutes off, then he's back for 2. Like, let the guy play 6 or 7 in the first quarter. Let him sit for 5 or let him sit for 7, a couple minutes into the second and go from there. But the rotations are always a little weird with San Antonio. They are in a lot of spots to start off the season, right? It used to, like last year, the Thunder, for example, SGA played the whole first quarter. That hasn't been the case this year, but they're switching up rotations in a lot of different spots to kind of find out works best. I just don't necessarily love what they're doing there. And the Bulls seem to have some chemistry, definitely at home. So let's give you all the plays here in this Bulls game. We're going to instead of taking the points with the Bulls, we're going to ride the money line, first quarter, first half, and game. Trey Jones for the Bulls, under 6.5 assists. Champagnie, 1+ rebound in the first quarter. Wemby, under 1.5 threes. Not a monster play, but he hasn't been hitting a lot of threes, so probably a smart play there. Vassell, under 3.5 rebounds. Harrison Barnes has been pretty decent out of the shoot, over 17.5 points and rebounds combined. Castle, first game, by the way, he didn't hit 5 rebounds in. We were actually out sick, so that was cash. But we're going to 12+ rebounds and assists combined. I think there's a lot of value in that one as he's been throwing up some assists as well. And then Wemby, over 2.5 turnovers, and Harrison Barnes for 11+ points. Next game up. Pelicans and Suns. This game, we're getting to go at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Let's be honest here. We all know the Pelicans are hot garbage. Zion's out again. Suns, we don't expect to be much better. I think these are 2 non-playoff teams. They probably, the Suns probably have a good chance to make the playoffs if they're in the East, but not in the West. I just don't think they've got enough firepower. If Booker stays healthy for 80, plays 80 games, maybe so. Maybe they make a 10 seed. But that's kind of where the cap is there. Pelicans, I don't think have any chance to get above that. But, I guess we wait and see. Maybe Trey Murphy takes off. Herbert Jones is even better. Maybe Jeremiah Fears is, absolutely ridiculous. DeJounte Murray's not due back for some time. Zion, I hopefully gets healthy. Zion's exciting to watch when he plays, right? But it's just, unfortunately, we haven't seen enough of it. Let's give you all the plays here with the Suns. We're actually going to lay it with the Suns here. Normally we don't, as we are, I don't know. We get bamboozled by them occasionally. Just hope it's not the case here. On this one, as we played the Suns -2 first quarter, 4.5 first half, 8 for the game. Dillon Brooks, 1+ rebound in the first quarter. Mark Williams, over 23.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Fears, under 8.5 rebounds and assists. Dillon Brooks, over 18.5 points and rebounds combined. Now, Ryan Dunn. I really like him in this game here. 8+ points, 13+ points and rebounds combined. And then we'll go back to Fears, under 24.5 par. Trey Murphy, under 3.5 threes. Booker for 4+ rebounds. And then Mr. Dunn again, over 13.5 par, points, assists, rebounds combined. Next game up, Jazz and the Wolves. So the Jazz are going to win a majority of their games, and they're not going to win a boatload this year. We're just hoping they come 23-24 is perfect, cover it early, but they're going to probably win those games at home. This is one of those spots I think they've got a chance to get this one done. Now they're getting 7.5 here. If you want to play a little bit longer shot, them on the money line, there is a hard place to win in Utah. Even when they suck, it is not easy to win up there. Now, they're not great, but they do have some nice pieces. I'm going to be curious to see if Markkanen actually stays with the team. I'm shocked. I was kind of surprised they didn't trade him in the offseason, which probably didn't get a boatload for him. But Markkanen's a hell of a player. He can score from all 3 levels. He can rebound. he's not great defensively, but he's, all right, right? So, but I mean, is he really going to be the centerpiece, when they're going to be good in 5 years? I don't know. Ace Bailey, we haven't seen a bunch of yet, but he's a rookie and it's new, right? I'm sure we'll see a bunch of them down the road here once he gets some games under his belt, and I'm sure he'll get plenty of time. Shocker that they took Ace in the draft, but I thought he was one of the best athletes, and best potential, like highest ceiling might have been Ace Bailey, right? But he also probably had one of the lowest floors as well. We saw that at Rutgers with him and Dylan Harper. He didn't really, it wasn't fantastic at Rutgers, right? Harper kind of dominated that team and Ace kind of was in the background. But we hope good things for Ace and for the Jazz. It's a lot of fun when they're actually pretty good. But we do like the Jazz in this particular spot with the points. So Jazz plus 2.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, 7.5 for the game. Jusuf Nurkic, how about 2+ turnovers? Markkanen 7+ points in the first quarter. Normally hits that number, especially at home. Ant-Man under 10.5 rebounds and assists combined. Naz Reid under 7.5 rebounds and assists combined. Nurkic under 22.5 par. Jaden McDaniels, 17+ points and assists. He's really had a nice season so far this season. Conley, only 5+ points is available. And Mr. George, over 1.5 assists first quarter. Pretty good plus money there. Ant-Man under 5.5 rebounds for the T-Wolves in that one. Next game up, as we roll through a busy Monday basketball, man, I'm telling you. We've got Hawks Clippers to finish this thing off, 10:30 Eastern time. Clippers favored by 4.5. No Kawhi. Harden's game time sounds like Harden's going to play. Clippers laying 4.5. No Trae Young. Yada yada. The injuries continue, right? It's the NBA. I don't know what they could do to make these guys play a little bit more, but probably nothing. When they're making $50 to $70 million. Does a all-pro, and when they're in the middle of a contract, does being all NBA first, second, or third team to get a max contract deal? I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference at all. But we do like the Clippers in this spot. At the Intuit Dome, I'll take the Clippers in most of these games when they're at home. Clippers minus 1.5 first quarter, 2.5 first half, 4.5 for the game. I can't ever pronounce his name for the Hawks. Risacher under 1.5 threes. Porzingis under 22.5 points and assists combined. Risacher, again, under 16.5 points, assists, rebounds. And by the way, the pronunciation show is next week. Porzingis under 6.5 rebounds. Zubac under 17.5 points. Dyson Daniels, 1+ 3-pointer made. Chris Dunn under 11.5 points and rebounds. Derek Jones, 10+ points. All right, that finishes off. That's the NBA. So let's get on to college basketball for Tuesday or Monday. I'm sorry, we're a little bit off. Being sick for a couple days, haven't been on the air, and next thing you know, I can't remember what freaking day it is, right? So we'll get going here. We're just going to go over the games we played rather than all the games that are here. UConn is going to be the first one we're on here. They are hosting who do we got here? Columbia. Line's 32.5. I think it needs to be closer to 40. We'll go ahead and say thank you on this one. We'll lay the 32.5 with Connecticut. 16.5 first half and 32.5 for the game. Next game up that we were on is going to be, let's see here. If we can find it. If you can find it, it will come, right? Presbyterian is in here somewhere. Let's see here. Presbyterian, where did we go? And of course, they're not showing up on a list. Maybe, Presbyterian getting 2.5 against Georgia State, 7 o'clock Eastern time frame. We do like Presbyterian in a spot. I think they're going to probably win the game outright. Might be worth a money line play if you want it there at like plus 130 roughly. But we do like Presbyterian plus 1.5 first half and 2.5 for the game. Miami of Florida. We've also got on the bingo card, right? Who doesn't want Miami of Florida? I know I want them. What we're liking in the Miami-Florida game is the total in this one. Miami, Florida, and East Texas A&M. Sorry, I'm not East Texas A&M. How about Stetson? 162.5. We like the over first half, 81.5 and 162.5 for the game. Western Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky. Total in that thing is at 163.5. I expect Western Kentucky to play a little bit slower than that pace. So Western Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky under 83.5 first half, 163.5 for the game. Fairfield, why not a little Fairfield, right? Everybody needs why don't you want Fairfield on your bingo card against Seton Hall, 7 o'clock Eastern time frame in that one? A pretty simple one for us. I think Seton Hall's okay, but I just laying 12.5 here I think is a bit much. So we'll take the 12.5 points plus 7.5 first half and 12.5 for the game. Indiana State, SIU. Next one we're looking at here. Indiana State, getting 1.5. Totals, 157.5. I expect this game to be played almost in the 170s. So I think we are getting some value here, especially on the line. Indiana State, SIU over 78.5 first half, 157.5 for the game. Next game up, we got a little Iowa State and Mississippi State. Iowa State laying 4.5, 150.5 total in this particular one. We do like the Cyclones. I am an alma mater. I will make that well known before we get started on that one there as well. Iowa State minus 2.5 first half and 4.5 for the game. Next game up. Oh, let's see here. We got 2 more college basketball games, and then we're finished out for the show. Little Rock and Milwaukee. Little Rock on the road, getting 3.5, but 158.5 total. We think Little Rock's going to win this game outright, though. So Little Rock, money line, first half, Little Rock, money line for the game. And Northern Illinois. I don't know if I can play them in football too much anymore, but might as well play them in some basketball, right? Northern Illinois getting 20.5 at Grand Canyon. GCU, obviously, local school here for us at 9 o'clock Eastern time. They're going to win this game. I don't think that's much in question, but 20.5 for a team that normally doesn't cover those big numbers earlier in the season, and they didn't last year. So we'll take Northern Illinois in this one is what we played, plus 11.5 first half, and then 20.5 for the game. That's going to be a rundown basketball plays for us for Monday, November 10th. If you like the content you're seeing here, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, like the show, share it with a friend. All that doesn't cost you a penny. All it does is cost you time and hitting a couple buttons. So might as well. All of our shows here on YouTube brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. 7-day free trial available in the comments section as well as the YouTube channel page. And, of course, our Discord. If you want to get in, get all these bets early, get all the unit sizes, know which ones are our biggest bets, all that kind of fun stuff, you can do so very easily. We have a weekly or monthly option in the comment section or the YouTube channel page to get in. A couple hundred plus members that love the same thing that you do, sports wagering. We do college football, NFL football, college basketball, NBA basketball. We also do we're heavy into baseball. Formula One gets posted in there. Not only do you get all my picks, but you're also going to get other cappers are dropping stuff in there as well. Players are posting a lot of parlays that they want to play or that they are playing. So there's going to be so much action in there that, it's the, every degenerate's favorite place to be. Right. So, and then a couple hundred plus members that just like chit chatting about sports or bitching or crying or complaining or happy or, showing, just people to hang out with that love the same thing you do called sports wagering. So make sure you check that out as well. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.